Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Elizabeth, which is the CEO and founder of the Diversity in Luxury Awards. So, Elizabeth, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend to entrepreneurs out there to achieve the first million?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. And thank you so much for having me on your show. The first step I would say is to have an idea. And the second step will be to validate that idea. I'm of the opinion that you should try and get your clients first before you even create a product.
Absolutely.
Or before you create a service. So validate your idea by doing some market research, or if it's something completely different that would revolutionize the entire market, I would suggest that you go with your gut, because nowadays, a lot of people would say, oh, I don't see that working. I don't need that. And especially in the luxury sector, which I'm in, but trust me, you need to go with your gut. So step 1, get an idea. Step 2, validate that idea. Step 3, find your clients. So you need to find your clients. You also need to, when you find your clients, you need to think, okay, how many of these clients are going to buy from me? So if you think 10,000 clients are going to buy, I would say reduce them by at least 3/4, because many projections often fail. You think, oh, 10,000, I can guarantee only 2,000, if that, might buy from you. Then step 4, I would say build your community. In luxury, it could be creating rarity. It could be creating exclusivity. So what you need to do is create a wait list. We've heard of Hermes, where they have a 2-year waiting list for certain handbags that cost about 20 grand, 30 grand, even 100 grand. So create a waiting list. A waiting list gives people the illusion that what you are creating is a must-have, and people will join it. Just like people join the queue in the UK, whether you know what you're queuing for or not, you just join a queue. So, and this is and having that exclusivity or that list has certainly helped me when I was building my business. And then step number 5, you create the product. I always say it doesn't have to be perfect, especially in luxury. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be good. The problem is many people create mediocre products or mediocre services, and then they try to package it as if it's a good product. A good product, people also have this impression that, oh, a good product speaks for itself. It doesn't. I would say
Absolutely.
It doesn't. So if you
absolutely 100% agree with you.
Absolutely. So if there's one skill I feel you need to have, it's selling. It's the skill of selling. I know someone, in order to sell, he took a job as a minicab driver, as a cab driver, for 2 reasons. One, he wanted to be able to interact with, because he doesn't like people.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, this is going to force me to interact with people. And number 2, he did it because he needed to not only
he needed to develop the skills.
He also wanted to know how to sell his skills. So he took a job as a minicab driver. I've often said to people, try and get a job either in McDonald's or somewhere where the barrier to entry is very, very low, and all you have to do, and every time you try and sell, they teach you how to upsell. So try and do that as well. So try and get a job where you have to sell, especially you're selling a product that you're not that passionate about. That is absolute key. So those are my 5 steps to
I love them.
Your first million.
Okay, Elizabeth, that's amazing. So now tell us the story. Why do you decide to become an entrepreneur and to build your own business? What happened? Tell us the story.
That is a brilliant question, by the way. So I'm going to take you back slightly. I did my degree in microbiology. I did my master's in medical microbiology and parasitology. You can see where I'm going with this. So I was meant to be a professor. I was on my path to getting a PhD. I trained at St. Mary's Hospital in Paddington, the home of the penicillin discovery. Worked at Great Ormond Street Hospital, one of the best children's hospitals in the world, and I would have been happy. But I remember one day thinking, there's got to be more to life than being a lab rat. So let me now try and see if I can. I knew I wanted to do something in business, but I wasn't sure what. So I did what I usually do. I went away, got a degree, got an MBA, and I then, via networking, I was able to make that shift. I became a headhunter. And while I was headhunting, 18-hour days, 12-hour days, I loved it. I enjoyed it, but it was very stressful. So I started baking. Now, I'd always baked when I was baking. I started
Wow.
So I'd always baked when I was a child. Long story, but I always baked, but it was something I took up again. So 2008, we know what happened. The markets tanked and I lost my job. So I thought to myself, I've reached a milestone birthday. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So I started my cake company. Now, I had a problem. How do I get clients?
A few problems when you start in a cake company in UK. Yeah, few of them.
I need clients. So because I didn't have a shop front or anything.
You have a good product though, yeah? I can guarantee that you have the best product. I guarantee that maybe your cakes, they were amazing, but exactly like you say, even if you have a good product, it doesn't speak with itself. A lot of entrepreneurs think, oh, I have this amazing product, and because my product is so good, client will come to me. No, this is no reality. This is you living in La La Land. It doesn't work that you can have the best product in the world. You don't go out and sell it. You have nothing.
Exactly. So I remember I just thought to myself, okay, so I took the yellow pages. In those days, the internet, no social media or, limited.
Very little, yeah.
No directory. So I took the yellow pages, big fat book, and I started calling every planner, every event person, every company, anything to do with events, I started calling. After making over 100 calls, a lot of people were rude. Some people were okay. Some people were. After 100 and something calls, I called a particular office. There was a young lady at the other end of the phone, and she said, "Do you make cupcakes?" I said, "Yes, we do make cupcakes. I will drop some samples for you in the next 3 days." So I dropped the samples. And before I got home, I then got a call on my mobile saying, we need you to come back to meet Lady Elizabeth. And in my head, I'm thinking, who's Lady Elizabeth? So I went back, and it happened that this Lady Elizabeth is Lady Elizabeth Anson, the late Queen Elizabeth's first cousin.
Wow.
The only one who called the late Queen by her name.
Wow.
And she said, "Loved your cupcakes, love the taste of it. They're perfect. I want to place an order." So she placed an order for 250 cupcakes, and she gave me a check from a private bank.
Wow.
And I thought, this is not happening. This cannot be real.
Wow, from royal family.
Right, exactly. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So when that happened, I thought, okay, so I deliver the cakes and everything, and that story would have been great. But then she did something incredibly generous. She said, she then wrote me an amazing letter saying that my cakes tasted the best on the night, etc., etc. And then she said, you can use this letter as testimonial on all your marketing material from now on. She was
very kind of her.
Exactly, very kind. So I did that. I mean, it's still on my website right now, although
Absolutely.
God rest her soul, you know, she died a few years ago, but that got me started on the luxury side. So this was how I started making cakes for other royal families, ultra high net worth people. It just gave me this boost in confidence. And then another exciting thing happened. I did a wedding show, and a TV camera crew came. They came to video the florist, somebody completely different. But when they got into their van, they came back to video my stand. And the guy also said, "Oh, can I ask you a few questions about trends?" I answer the questions. And then he said, "Okay." So the next thing I know, I'm on TV. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Elizabeth, you're on TV." And then a few months later, he contacts me and he said he has an idea for a cake show. Would I like to take part in the cake show? And
Wow.
I said no, because
Oh.
I said because I'm not as I then gave him a list of other cake makers who were, I felt, in my view,
Oh
incredible.
my God, Elizabeth, you lose the.
I know,
Oh my God, I want to
but
cry.
but he said, "You know what, Elizabeth, I want a mixed ability group. I don't want it to just be."
Perfect.
So again, I said, fine. So I did the TV show, and
Wow.
on the show, you're given 3 different challenges with 3 different couples, and I won 3 out of 3 times.
Really?
I honestly, I was the most shocked in the room, because it was a major upset. We had all these amazing cake makers, and I was a nobody. So that was another claim to fame. And what then happened after that was that by word of mouth, by referral, by me doing a number of things, including collaborations, including years ago, blogging was big, collaborations were big. I did a number of things, and then I used social media as well. That really blew up my business, and it brought me incredible clients. I had to sign lots of NDAs, lots of confidentiality agreements, and
Wow.
that was how I got into the luxury world. And that became, so I started noticing certain things, and that was what then I started having the idea to write my book, The Luxpreneur, about 5,
I like
6
the
years
title.
ago. Yeah, because I'd already written another book. My first book was a cake book, so it showcased the best of my cakes and the recipes and how I created them, and that was great for the 10-year anniversary. But then, about 5 years ago, I was invited a lot to stages to talk about entrepreneurship and to talk, more importantly, about the luxury world and luxury clients. And because there isn't a lot of information out there about luxury clients and building a luxury brand. And that was how I realized that there was a massive gap in the market. So I decided to write The Luxpreneur, how to start and build a luxury brand as a result of that. Because when we think of the big brands, like your Chanel's and Gucci's, etc., all the books around those brands tend to be written by professors of luxury or luxury experts. Many are not written by luxury brand founders.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a massive difference, because those books are great. They're very well written. The language is highfalutin, very well referenced, like very academic, but not very practical. So I wanted something that, even if you have no money, you can literally go and do some of the things I have in the book. So that's why I wrote my book, The Luxpreneur.
Wow, I love it, and it's interesting because I think that the challenge that entrepreneurs have out there is that they go and they trying to they jump into a luxury business or selling a luxury product without understanding a lot of basic fundamentals. Yeah, and I think that the best example of that, if you go um to the luxury shops there, if you go to Harrods in UK, yeah, you will find out that the bags don't even have price. Yeah. And the reason why this bag doesn't have price is because the people that are gonna buy this bag, they don't have money problem. Yeah. And this is so whatever the price is irrelevant. If they like it, they're gonna buy it. But what elements goes into the marketing to that buyer to buy this thing is completely different. The principle how we sell other products, yeah, it's not the same thing to sell a luxury item that to sell a Coca-Cola or a bottle of water. And sometimes a lot I see the approach that people are trying to sell a luxury product like this a normal product. Of course, they don't have the experience and they don't know how the mechanic works. I think that this point that you shared at the beginning, that you said having a waiting list, this is one of the backbones of how you set this type of products. Yeah. I mean, if you go and buy a Ferrari, you go and buy a Ferrari, they don't give you immediately. They make you wait on purpose. They have it on the store. They make, because the luxury client, they're used to get everything that they want fast. They pay, they got it fast. They pay, they got it fast. So at the moment that you break that pattern and you say, okay, you have to pay now, but you can have it. Now they want it more. They're like, how come I have to? And they will tell their friends, can you believe I bought this Ferrari and made me wait 8 months? Yeah. With the Rolex, with the watches, the more exclusive they are, they make you wait on purpose. they say, oh, you have to wait 6-8 months. No, it get ready in a week. However, if you don't go to that pattern, you won't be able to have this client, yeah, in the in the lasting field. It's same with the limited editions. You go to Mont Blanc, you have pens that they are really expensive, yeah, but there is only 20, 30, 50, and when they are gone. So now it goes another element, which is this type of clients, what they want, what they're looking is for that premium products. Some might say that that differentiated from the rest. So Elizabeth, tell us what are the one more can you share about what are the secrets of build a brand and sell a luxury product? For example, let me give you an example. Those cupcakes that you were selling to the royal family, yeah, you cannot sell that cheap. Even if you want to price them cheap, if you price them cheap, they won't buy it. They have to have a very premium price so that market understand. So, but how you justify that price? I mean, you share a little bit, you have a great testimony for the royal family. You have been in TV, you build your personal brand about the luxury market, and that is what give you open the doors to charge premium prices for your products and services because you have been seen as the expert in the marketplace. So tell us a little bit more about this journey, how you go from a normal cupcake maker that make a phone calls and selling the cupcakes, let's say for, I don't know, £2, and selling the same cupcake to a luxury market with maybe you need to sell it 3-4 times more expensive, but put more quality in the product, in the paper, in the boxes, in the packaging. So tell us a little bit more about this process.
Okay, that's a great question. So let's start from, let's walk the journey of luxury. So the first thing I would say as a recommendation is having a luxury mindset. So you don't have to come from luxury. I believe
Absolutely.
that not everything expensive is luxury. You can have an expensive product and you can have a luxury product. The difference, in my opinion, is the emotional resonance. So it's about making sure you build that emotional resonance. The waiting list, the curation, the rarity, the exclusivity, it's all about building that emotional resonance. Another thing, which is very, very important, and I said something earlier about finding your clients first. The reason I like the book I've written, I love the book, is that the book in my mind is in 3 parts. So the first part is about yourself. What is your luxury mindset? So what I've done, I created different archetypes of different luxury founders. So as a luxury founder, my archetype is artisan and visionary. But here's a problem. As an artisan, all I want to do is produce. I just want to produce more and more cakes. But I need somebody who's a great business manager, a great marketeer, and a great salesperson to sell that product. I need someone who would say to me, Elizabeth, don't spend 80% of the cost of the cake on ingredients. I need someone to go this. So you need people around you that would help you in your journey to luxury. As a visionary, I'm always thinking of the future. I also need someone around me who grounds me in the present.
In the today.
In the today. So that's the first part of the journey. The second part of the journey to becoming a Luxpreneur is knowing the principles of a luxury business. Now, when you think of Coco Chanel, oh, she created Chanel. Yes, but guess what? She grew up in an orphanage. She was shown how to sew in an orphanage. Gucci, who founded Gucci, used to work as a porter at the Savoy in London.
Wow.
Louis Vuitton, he walked barefoot to Paris because he was that poor. So what do all 3 have in common? The fact that they saw things differently. Coco Chanel hated the frou-frou designs of the day, so she reinvented the little black jacket and silhouette. She wanted something simpler, something women could wear when they're out and about. So she was a visionary. She saw the future, but she surrounded herself with artists and rich people that could help her in her journey. So same with Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton spotted that the trunks in those days, you couldn't stack them one on top of each other. So he created trunks that you could stack on top of each other. So they had an idea, found a solution, found people to fund that solution. So I give you the 5 principles of creating a luxury business. If you imagine a table, 4 legs, and there's one pillar running through the table, that pillar is storytelling. Because when you think of Gucci, and you hear their story, there's an emotional resonance. And people want to be part of Chanel or Hermes or whatever because of the story and because of you need to see yourself sometimes reflected in the brand. And you also want the brand to be reflective of you, because it says a lot to people that you're able to afford that Hermes or that Cartier stack or whatever it is. So that emotional resonance. The second part of the book, I talk about how to develop the resonance, how to create the perception. I talk about the business model, and in which I discuss pricing. And I also discuss value. I have a formula in order so that you can build the value of your product. And then the last part, which to me is a part that many people want to know, because they say, oh my God, Elizabeth, how do you always find rich clients? I'm like, that's the wrong question to ask.
Absolutely.
The right question to ask is, what is the most value that I can give a client? So in talking about the clients, many people say, oh, is it old money? Is it new money? I'm like, no, it's just money, because old money and new money, to me, I think it's very lazy and reductive and almost insulting, because people try to imply that old money is better. Old money has just been there a bit longer. They've managed to hang on to the money a bit longer, and they're always looking to new money to refresh anyway. So I created 8 different archetypes, not stereotypes, but archetypes of the typical luxury client that you will encounter. And then I use examples. For example, I mentioned Gucci. if you notice with luxury brands, when it comes to pricing, there are 3 levels of pricing. And this is me oversimplifying. The first level is the perfumes, the lipsticks, the cosmetics, the beauty, or whatever it is. That's level 1. So level 1, if Elizabeth saves up for a month, I might be able to afford a perfume, right? Then there's the next level, which is the handbags, the shoes, the off-the-peg stuff. If I save up for a year, or maybe 2 years diligently, I might be able to afford a handbag. And then you have level 3, which is couture. So for the couture, I sell a kidney, I sell another organ. I might, in my lifetime, be able to afford couture. Now, this is the interesting thing about these brands. It is the level 1, the perfumes, the lipsticks, which is the volume. That is what is funding everything else, including couture. But what do the brands do? When you have couture or fashion week or whatever it is, they have a display like a theater. You have the fashion show, but then you have the pre-fashion show. So you have all these influencers outside before the show, taking photos, wearing the designer, posing. You get as many celebrities as possible. Then you have the actual show itself, and then you have the after party after the show. So it's like a theater, a costume. And that is what creates that effect in the minds of people like me when I'm buying that perfume, that lipstick, that beauty product. So this is what you need to, so when you break that down, you need to think, okay, how can I do that for my luxury brand? How can I do the same, although no budget, with my brand? So I give several examples in the book of things that you can do.
Wow, Elizabeth, I think that you do know a lot what you're talking about. Yeah, the more I hear you, the more I like what you're sharing. Yeah, I think that we have luxury products in our portfolio. We sell them to high-profile clients, and I understand 100% everything that you're sharing. And I think that, okay, let me ask you a question. Can anybody beat a luxury brand, in your opinion?
Yes,
I
because
agree with you.
because a luxury supplier, because people sometimes conflate luxury living with luxury supply.
Absolutely.
So
Let's go there after, Elizabeth, because this is one of the challenge that we has experienced at the beginning. I mean, everybody in this market, that what you are you are selling to multimillionaires, yeah. But sometimes they don't assume, okay, they are the multimillionaire, you are not, and sometimes the client get confused. They also think that the entrepreneurs at the early stage is a multimillionaire, and you can have a luxury product, yeah, at the beginning, exactly like you have, yeah. Back then, when you had your first order, okay, you sell it to a multimillionaire, to royal family, but you're not a millionaire back then, yeah. So tell us a little bit more, because sometimes people also, get a misconception. They can say, wow, Elizabeth, she's loaded because she has all these clients and all these multimillionaires. And, sometimes people don't understand, okay, yes, I sell to millionaires, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I have the gazillion money that they have. And so how you break that? Because this is something that is really, really interesting, yeah. And sometimes people get confused, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think, and this is where I say to people, you can be a supplier to the luxury industry. That's not a problem. But it's also about, and also, I think it's also about you, like I said, having that luxury mindset, having that knowing, and also
even if you don't have that wealth, you need to know how to dress.
And also understanding your role. If your client is king and your client is queen, your role is kingmaker and queen maker. That is your role. So just because you are kingmaker, queenmaker doesn't make you royal yourself.
Absolutely,
You
100%
may,
agree.
you may marry into royalty. You may become a part of the court because, you know, as a supplier to the luxury industry, you become part of the court.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. They invite
uh,
you to staff all the time and things like this.
but you are not. You are not
Yeah.
them. So, and I think I've seen.
The people think that, the people think, we organize luxury events as well, and the people, I don't know, make an assumption, and I'm very grateful that we're having this conversation with you, because it's really the perception of the people think that, wow, because we supply or we have a lot of luxury products, we are as wealthy as these people. And I said, look, we sell to them, but we're an entrepreneur, same like everybody else. We just send to these people. And also, let me tell you a story. This is a true story. My cousin, yeah, he's an artist, yeah. He sell arts, very expensive. Yeah, his clients are, I don't know, from the Dom Perignon champagne, and I mean, you name it. The people that buy art from him are very, very wealthy people. Huh? But I remember when my cousin come to London, yeah, and sometimes he told me, Harry, come, come with me to this party. Yeah, I remember my cousin brought the clothes that I'm gonna wear. It, it was, I'm telling you, a long time ago. I remember, and I never understood what he was doing. I said, is he crazy? What, why he's bringing, he was living, I think, New York or in Spain. And I'm thinking, why my cousin is carrying a Gianni Versace coat for me that actually he gifted to me as presents. So for me, was the whole thing was amazing. Yeah. So I get an amazing Gianni Versace, and I remember my cousin was bringing the whole clothes, yeah, to go with him to that event. And now that I'm on the space, now I'm putting those back, and I understand, like, wow. The thing is that my cousin couldn't say to anyone, "This is my guest, this is my cousin," and I don't know. I was back in the day working as a room service in the Hilton, so in my what type of clothes I'm gonna wear, but you know what I mean. So, so that market is different. Like also my cousin, he spent a lot of time all his life amongst this market, because he sell art. So imagine, somebody that buy arts is like literally doesn't have any money problem at all. Yeah, nobody, whoever buy art, yeah, and the highest price. So, and my cousin always telling me stories. Say, "Hi, sometimes I had to be 3 months in a boat of France on holiday with a client. Do I really want to be in a boat 3 months on holiday? Not really. But you know what? I'm working. People think that I'm having fun. People think that this is my life and this is like that. But my job, I have to be in the right moment at the right time. And sometimes it's a client invite me to spend a month in a boat with them for all the Mediterranean as a holiday. I cannot say no because, but going in this boat, we're going to have some events and we're going to meet more people and they will introduce more people. And eventually these people will buy more art and so on. And sometimes, he spends months in the houses of these people. These people
Yeah.
give them the keys and, say, okay, you want to go to London? For example, when he goes to London, he stays in Sloane Square and the client give you the key for the mansion and he stayed there as long as he want, right? And
I,
so,
I
yeah,
think you've touched on something really important there because it's what I say about you can serve the high net worth if you are a high trust worth person.
absolutely.
Because that trust is absolutely key because it's not about, and this is where some people get a bit conflicted because there are times when you sign these confidentiality agreements, or some people actually, they don't even make you sign anything. But if you leak even a tiny thing, you're out. They will
That
cut
market, you dead.
your debt.
This market,
Yeah.
I know people in London, true story. I know people in London that sell tea to a royal family that is 1 million a kilo.
Yeah.
Listen carefully.
Yeah.
And this person doesn't have in this website
Yeah.
how many royal family he sells these things, how many things. I know because it's something that have been disclosed with me in confidentiality and everything. But there is, and I'm thinking, and he had this conversation, and he was sharing with me that he said, Harry, when you sell into this market, the less you say is the best. This market doesn't want, these people doesn't want to know that you selling this tea. These people doesn't want to know that the public know what type of tea they like. This is a different,
It's,
client.
I also mention in the book that there are clients who pay not to be on any rich list. So they talk about the Forbes rich list or the Sunday Times rich list. I know clients who you will never see their name on any rich list because they don't want the publicity. They're very, very private. So even in my book, I never ever mention any client. I use examples of celebrities that we all know, but I never, ever, ever mention.
Or that person that actually authorized you tell you, look, let me help you, Elizabeth. You can use these letters as reference. This is amazing value that
Yeah,
person gave to you.
that person did.
A lifetime asset.
Exactly.
It's not like, that's the other thing that people think, let's sell it to luxury. Oh, okay, I sell this to this person and I'm gonna tell to everybody. Well, if you tell to everybody, you will never put your foot in that market, never again in your life, because it doesn't work like this. You're not selling a Coca-Cola, you're not selling a bottle of water. You are selling to high net worth individuals, and the
I mean, the
rules
funny
are
thing is, even if you're selling water,
exactly, because
even let's take a basic, because anything can be a luxury item depending on positioning and how you market. But even then, to your point, it's not a matter of volume. You in this market, it depending on, because even in my book, I talk about the different types of luxury brands, from the basic to the very ultra high prestigious. The bottom line is you need to know, okay, if I'm in the market where I only sell to 2 people a year, that's it. If you want a market where you sell to 20,000 people, there's a market there, 20,000 people. But if but if you want to sell to 2 people a year, you should know that, okay, this is the market. For example, even as a cake maker, saffron is more expensive than gold per ounce.
absolutely.
So, and then when you look at the saffron market, depending on the type of saffron, not all saffron is the same. So if you want the saffron that was handpicked before 5 a.m., that only comes from a certain farm at a certain time of the year, you need to pay for that. So again, even within the luxury market, there's differentiation and differentiation and differentiation. So that is another thing that people need to be aware of. That is not a matter of, oh, I did X for this celebrity. That's great. However, there are certain people that would love the fact that you sold to a particular celebrity, and there are certain people that would hate it because they value their privacy. So it's about knowing the difference between such clients, the 100%. Psychology, what drives them, what motivates them. You're halfway there. But you've mentioned a really important factor, which is privacy and security concerns that a lot of them have. And that is why we're very lucky that in London, we get an influx and a mix of a lot of high net worth people, because for some people, London is really safe for them. It's a bit of a, nobody knows them in London.
Absolutely.
But in their home country, I mean, I've been to some home countries and it's like, oh my God, you won't even realize how big they are in their home countries.
Elizabeth, show us your book. Let me see. Where can we find this book?
Book can be, it's called The Luxpreneur.
I love the title.
Yeah, it's called The Luxpreneur, and the book can be found on Amazon. Yeah, so get your copy. I really break everything down, and for me, the reason I love it is the book I wish I'd read when I started my business.
Yeah.
Because I had to find
Nobody
out
teach you.
the hard way.
Nobody teach you.
So it's called the Luxpreneur, and it takes you from starting and building the brand. And I'm hoping maybe then my next book, I can talk about scaling and financing and pitching to VCs and getting angel investment.
Wow.
That's the thing. So hopefully that could be
we're looking forward to the next book then.
Yeah, I think the book will definitely require a follow-up, I think. But I need to get that idea down on paper, and then but I think the Luxpreneur is a really, really great start.
I love the title. The title is very good. Amazing. Well done for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a story around the title actually. I wanted to call it something completely different, and then I started using the hashtag. And then I got a note, a really polite note from somebody saying, actually, that particular word, it's been my copyright for 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And, oh my God, because when I chose that word, I did a search on the government website for copyright, for trademark. Nothing came up in the UK, nothing. So what happened was, because the UK Brexited, when you do a search, sometimes the search is just restricted locally. Even my Google search, this company did not come up. So he said to me, okay, let's have a Zoom call. So we had a Zoom call. I showed him the search. I actually sent him the website. I showed him the searches. And he was like, wow, you're really telling the truth. I'm like, yes, I am. So he said, you know what? I'm going to help you find a name for your book. So he then came up with a few ideas. I didn't use any of them, but the fact that he was so gracious enough to do that was amazing. And then when I wrote The Luxpreneur, he also gave me a testimonial, a fantastic testimonial. He's a CEO of the Luxury Institute.
Wow.
His name is Milton Pedraza, and I'm truly grateful. So it just goes to show I learned a massive lesson in terms of, people, just be honest, just be yourself, and do your searches, do your international searches.
Do the international. The name is very good. Yeah, I can tell you that. And the also what I want to share with you, Elizabeth, I think that I always I'm very grateful that being a luxury market, I love it. Yeah. But I think that having a path to the having other businesses that they are no luxury, it has helped me to understand something that when you, and this is what we want people to know, entrepreneurs to know, and we want everybody to read your book, because this is the reality, in my opinion. Okay. What is more easy? To sell one bag in 1,000 pounds or 1,000 bags at £1? Yeah. And people might think, well, because the 1,000 bag at £1 are going to sell them faster. But the answer is no. Because when you're selling, like you described, Lisa, at the beginning, when you're selling, you need the process. You need to find your prospect. You need to find who's going to buy this bag for £1. And then you need to find 1,000 of these people that have £1 that want to buy this particular bag for £1. And when you put that all into the equation, it's actually more work than selling one bag for £1,000 because you need to go through a sell process anyway. You need to find your prospect. You need to do the same work. So you're going to do the same work, even you're going to work 10 times more if you want to sell 1,000 bags for £1 than actually to sell one bag for £1,000. If you read the Elizabeth book and you understand the rules of this market. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
However, if you read this book and you start to learn about the mechanic, how to build and grow a luxury brand, and you are comfortable in these spaces, and a space like we were sharing before is no, like, look my clothes, yeah. My clothes get handmade in Dubai, yeah.
Right.
Do I really want to wear these clothes all the time? No. The answer is no. I love to wear jeans and chandal and be comfortable and wear trainings. Yeah. However, this is the clothes I have to wear all the time because I'm
Like
in
a
the
uniform.
space. You know what I mean? So a lot of people think that that if you're gonna go to this market, you need to go all in. Yeah. And that means building your personal brand. That means be okay to be in a podcast and give your face. Be okay to be in TV. Be okay to do public speaking. A lot of people are afraid of public speaking. Oh no, I'm scared to speak in front of 2,000 people. Well, if you're gonna sell to that market, you need to have a high personal brand. You have to be identified the expert in that product, in that service, in that market, and you have to do things that not everybody's comfortable to be in the TV, to be in the radio, to be in the podcast, to write the book. A lot of people say, "No, I don't want to write the book." What do you? I'm asking, do you really want to grow your business or no?
That's right.
Because your book will give you exposure for your business. So if you really want to go to this luxury market, yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing. You can create a lot of wealth and you can make a lot of money. Let's be real, yeah, because you have high margins, yeah. However, you have to um, to you have to you have to be ready
Yeah.
for what it's gonna take. Yeah. And if you don't like to be in TV, if you don't like to be in the public eye, if you don't like to be in the social media, if you don't like to I don't know, to be there for this type of people, because some of them sometimes they text me, Harry, can you help me? And I'm thinking, how can I help this person? You have all the money in the world and they're asking me to help them. Okay, fine. I had to take what do you need help with? I'm shocked and surprised that you know what I mean? But you have to be there for these people, because these people of these clients, they, like you say, Elizabeth, they bring you into the circle, yeah, and you become I'm not say friends, but they're very close to you. They trust you so much.
Yeah.
That
It's a
sometimes they will share things with you that I'm selling my mansion. Do you know anyone? Please don't sell anyone. Or I'm selling this. Or Harry, things like that. That they will be never knowledge of the public or things like that. But they bring you in because you've been serving to this market. They know that you're honest. They know that you have relationship. They know that you can sort them out the issue. And we have to, like you said, Elizabeth, share it very well. We have to honor that privacy. We have to help out, because at the end of the day, there are also people, they do have problems, and they need reliable people that help them to solve these problems, right? So, because at the end of the day, they are just people. The more we meet them, the more I realize they're so similar to normal people. They all make mistakes. They get depressed. They get sad.
Indeed.
They just have more money, but they have the same problem that everybody has. And we have to be there for them. So, Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thank you for
So
having me.
if people here are more interested in what you're talking about, which I think is amazing, and very little people talk about it, how people can find you? Yeah, you already said that the book they can find in Amazon, right? So, but
Yes, you
tell us
can.
more. How people can find you? How they can learn from you? They
Okay.
do you have any LinkedIn? Do you have any website? Tell us.
Yes. My website, elizabethsolaru.com, and also on LinkedIn. Every day on LinkedIn, I share articles on
Very good.
luxury or writings on luxury, and more importantly, how you can then apply it to your own business. So it's something I'm very passionate about. It's something I'm speaking about. I want to see more more diversity, different people in luxury. I want to see more entrepreneurs come into luxury. And right now I'm working with a couple of business schools
Very
to
good.
make sure that happens. So find me on LinkedIn, Elizabeth Solaru, and also, more importantly, buy my book.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I think you're amazing. You're brilliant. I'm looking forward to meet you in person. Yeah, as soon as I arrive to London, I'm
Yes.
looking forward to meet you in person. Yeah, so we can
We can chat some
or
more.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I love the topic. Yeah, and thank you so much for being so kind to share your knowledge with our audience. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and like I said, there is. I agree 100% with you. There's very little content
Yes.
about what we just discussed in this podcast today. The reason maybe is for what you say, right? That there is no luxury brands founders, yeah, that write about this topic. Probably, because they are so rich and so comfortable that they don't bother. Oh, because I'm just assuming that they are really busy running huge operation, multi-million, billion-pound company, and no so writing a book is a lot of work. Do you agree with me? I mean, and it's like a baby. After you write it, then you don't want to let it go. And I'm like, I had to let go of this book. It never ends. Because you want to make more things and more things. But I'm glad that you are leaving a legacy of your journey for the new generations to come. And like you said, you wish that that book or something like that was around when you started. Same with me when I started my first business. I wish, yeah, I wish that books were around. Not even that, because I didn't even was aware that people write books about these things. So that's how lost I was when I started my first business. But anyway, thank you so much.
Experience is always the best teacher anyway. Experience
Absolutely.
is always the best teacher.
So thank you so much. And for you, follow us in this podcast. See you in our next episode. How brave entrepreneur like Elizabeth break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.